Dear Camnet TV viewers, welcome to Monday's edition of National Matters. When we say National Matters, we want you to take it personal. We want you to know that without you, the economy cannot go up. And like what Dr. Havazoka said here, that if the country is poor, you blame the nationals. Because when the nationals start working hard and we have money, not having a dependence syndrome, I want you to know that the nation will go up because the government will have a broader base where to tax people from. And I know there are those like our foreign friends who don't want to see Zambia grow. You know yourselves from you claim to be Zambians living here, but you've got shops, you don't pay tax, you've got businesses, you don't pay tax. You are very wealthy, but you don't pay tax. That, I pray that one day the government will come up with a system of monitoring everybody, including my grandmother said in Chibwabwa, we should pay something so that, so that our economy should start picking. In the quest of wanting to let every Zambian know that you were born for greatness, on behalf of my wife, who is the CEO for the station, on behalf of the Healing Word Ministries International and its leadership through Tukombe, I want to invite and welcome all of you that are watching this broadcast. Please tune in, tell your friends, tell your relatives, tell everyone to go on Facebook, YouTube, and let's connect together while I introduce my guest in the studio, Mr. Arnold. Am I right?
Almond.
Almond Sitima. Dr. Sitima, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Pastor. And I want to say that I feel very honored and privileged to be on the channel.
Amen.
Thank you.
I always say this to all my guests, that Camnet TV, we are a family, including yourself. You watch Camnet.
I do, yes.
So when you are there, you are part of the family.
Thank you very much.
And we are building this one Zambia, one nation in Camnet and through Camnet so that we know each other, we know one another, and we correct one another. In short, it's a family.
Thank you very much.
For the sake of the family out there, who is Dr. Arnold Almond Sitima? Please tell the people out there.
Thank you very much. My name's Almond Kazmil Sitima. I was born in Chipata. I am an indigenous Zambian from Kasanta village in Chipata, and I got educated. First, I started my education in Mansa at Mtende Primary School in 1972. From there, I moved to, or rather, my parents moved to Petauke. I went to Mizu Primary School, where I did my grade 5, 6, and part of grade 7. And from there, we moved to Serenje, where I did my grade 7. And from there, moved to the famous Chasa Secondary School in Eastern Province. I did my Form 1 to Form 5. And from there, I went to University of Zambia, where I did my first degree in veterinary medicine. And upon finishing, I worked for the government of Zambia. I worked in Choma, Namwala, Ndola, and then eventually retired in Lusaka. So I would say that, in short, I am a retired veterinarian, but contributing in the private sector, more especially in game ranching.
Are you married? Do you have children? Or you haven't talked about that?
Yes,
I see that you are very passionate about the injections.
Yeah, Pastor, I am happily married to Christine Kamungu, equally from Eastern Province. Of course, she's now Christine Kamungu Stima. And we have a family. We've got children, and one of my one of the children is in Chingola, while others one is in Chipata, and the rest are with me. 4 of them are with me in Lusaka. So that's how our small family is. We are based in Lusaka, and we are a happy family.
I am so grateful to know that you come from Eastern Province, Dr. Sitima, and your wife is from Eastern Province. So if you are accused of tribalism, would you refuse to say no?
Yes, I would refuse.
I'm a nationalist.
No, I would refuse, Pastor, because I think we got married by the choice of God.
I know.
Yeah, so God decided for us to partner up.
We are so grateful to the Lord, and
thank you
we are grateful. Let's get our books in order, and let's have the ball rolling. As you have heard, that Dr. Sitima is a vet doctor. Camnet TV has gone into this broad search for you Zambians, for us, I like the word you used, indigenous Zambians. You see, when I look at some trees in Lusaka and around Zambia, I always tell my children, this is not an indigenous tree. Though it's planted here, it was imported.
Yes.
When you look at Mukula tree, you look at Masuku, you say, these are indigenous trees. And I like being specific that there are those indigenous Zambians and there are those Zambians who are by the way of export, import, and they find themselves here. But my message, by and large, is to the indigenous Zambians. As you've heard that is a vet doctor, we are going to begin with something that is good. We'll talk about livestock farming. We'll start from what you can call domesticated animals, and eventually we will go to game ranching and all that. Now, doctor, help my family members out there. Us members, as you know, together with yourselves, that much I know, you don't have cows like the Southerners. Am I right or wrong?
You are very, very right, Pastor. You are very right.
Us in Chinsali, it's even worse, because when I was growing up, I never even saw goats. But we also keep animals. Though I haven't visited Chinsali in a long while, we have a lot of animals called monkeys.
Oh.
Those ones we are very good at keeping. Now let's go down to animal farming. Can anybody who doesn't have a vet knowledge on how to keep cows, how to keep goats, can they venture into it?
Pastor, I would say that yes, you do not need to have specific knowledge for you to go into livestock farming. What you need is the interest and knowing where to go when you are confronted with a problem. I am pretty sure this building belongs to your ministry. It was constructed, but I don't think it was you who constructed this. You knew where to go to get good constructing people. So equally, somebody who wants to go into livestock farming, the most important thing is the interest and knowing where you want to go. I've met so many people, and you'll be surprised. People that come to, I'll try to blow my own trumpet on this point. People who will come to me to say, can you help us develop this? I will give you 2 high-profile people. First, I will tell you that I have done some work for the president. I have been at his farm. His Excellency Edgar Chagwa Lungu. I've been to his farm and I've done some work for him. But of course, I have not met him directly, but I know his farm. He is a lawyer, but interested in farming, in livestock farming. He's got animals. I have been on his farm. I have done work for him.
So are you saying my president has animals?
Yes, at least I know that he is passionate about livestock farming.
Now I know my president, my first lady, I'm coming for that Kambushi. Please go ahead, yes.
I will give you another high-profile person, the owner of Crossroads Lodges, Mr. Boas Mfundi. He's got, people think that he's only in lodges and so on. I will tell you that we started his farm, his livestock farm, and you go there now, he's got more than 300 animals. All right? So himself, he is a qualified electrician, but he's passionate about livestock. So he knows where to go in order to get something done. Another person whom a lot of us know that he is actually in transportation, the owner of Power Tools buses. He's passionate about farming, very, very passionate. He is going into farming, and I've been doing work for him. He himself will be very categoric, and he has been very categoric to me, that look, I want somebody who can energize me into being a proper farmer. Because he also has a belief to say that in the next 10 years, we will have billionaires, not from transport, not from this and that, not from mining, but from activities that feed human beings. So he's very passionate about farming. So you can see that these people that I've just mentioned are people who we all know have got a certain trade, a lawyer, an electrician, somebody who is in transport logistics, and they don't have very good knowledge of farming. But it's the interest that they have in livestock farming, and they are progressing.
Dr. Sitima, this is wonderful, and I thank God for my guests that are watching this National Matters. You know, my wife and I are not journalists, but we are very passionate about, media. I sit here interviewing you because of the passion that I have, like on National Matters. People have said, why don't you look for the journalists to interview people? But it's me that knows what to take out of the people. In other words, I'm agreeing with you that passion can lead you to succeed in the area where you are not called. Now, the only disappointing thing, Dr. Sitima, is that of that list, you haven't mentioned one pastor or bishop with animals that you have dealt with. If there isn't anyone, I pray next time you come here, you put me on the list with my wife that we have begun a farm with Pastor Chiluba. No, I'm serious.
Yes.
You see,
yes.
when you and I have been speaking,
Yes.
because I have interest in these agriculture things. I'm a pastor, but I've developed this because one of the ministry that Jesus did on earth was to preach the gospel and to feed the people. He fed them with fish, fed them with bread. He was into that. Now, a person like me, as a pastor, I just don't have to preach. I must become a contributor to the economy. Now, why would you say these prominent people would go into livestock farming? Is it profitable?
You know, I will say that everybody, when going into livestock farming, has got an aim. For instance, if we take these people that we've gone, they've got different aims, but by and large, it will turn out to be a business venture which turns out to be profitable to them. I will even go down, these people that I've mentioned would say that they are educated. I do agree on that one. Makaba, his nickname was Nkana. The man was not educated, but he had the passion of keeping cattle. He had more than 1,800 heads of cattle. 1,800. More than 1,800. There was another uneducated old man, a very good friend of mine, Mr. Frederick Shibwela. Mr. Frederick Shibwela, right now, he was even honored by the current government for having been a prominent cattle farmer in Namwala. Another young man, I call him young because he's younger than me, he is Alan Kavuzo. You go right now to Namwala, in Mala village, Alan has got a humble background of education, but he's got very keen passion for farming. Right now, even the government buys breeding animals from Alan. You go right to Northern Province, Alan has supplied animals at their breeding center. Alan has supplied. But go and see his education CV, academic CV. You'll be surprised that Alan did not even go as far as grade 9. But look at what he is doing with his livestock and look at what he has achieved and the life that he leads. You realize that if livestock farming was not profitable, then this gentleman was not going to be what he is. I wish there were some people who would actually bear witness that yes, they know Alan Kavuzo and they know him very well, that he's not educated, but he is somebody who is very keen and he has profited. And right now, as I'm talking, he's got more than 1,500 animals. When you talk about Mr. Frederick Shibwela, I'm pretty sure he's got more than 2,000 animals. And these are people who use livestock as their bank. When they've got something that they need to solve or that needs finance, buy a vehicle. They'll tell you, bring the vehicle, I'll pay you. But when you go to them, they'll take you to the crow. Go and sell that animal, that animal, that animal, that animal. 72 animals, go and sell. If the money won't be enough, come back, I'll top up. So for them, that is the what? That is the bank. And if it was not profitable, I don't think we would find people in Namwala keeping 1,500, 2,000 animals. So in short, Pastor, I will say that yes, livestock farming is profitable. And I want to qualify the word livestock. What animals are included in livestock? By law, the definition of the definition by the Zambian law, livestock includes any animal that is kept for the purpose that is kept by a human being for the purpose of gaining financial benefits. So it includes all domesticated animals and wild animals that are kept in captivity. So all those are included. They don't look at whether they are edible or not edible. No, it's as long as it is kept by a human being in captivity, ranching in Zambia, they qualify. So there are other things that equally qualify into livestock or into animal. Bees, they actually qualify into animal. So even beekeeping is something that is categorized as livestock farming. Yeah. So you will realize that the whole range of these domesticated animals are livestock. I will give you another example. In a Mukushi farming block, there is a gentleman there by the name of Don Stace. Don Stace farm has got nothing apart from cattle and wild animals. And go and see how prosperous he is. So these are people who are completely thriving on livestock farming. So in short, I will say that livestock farming should not be neglected, and if properly taken as a business, it is very beneficial. The problem that we have as indigenous Zambians is that we have the mentality of saying that it's an animal, so we don't invest in an animal. So you leave it, look for it. I mean, it is on self-catering mode. If it goes, it doesn't find any food, well for you. Then you are sowing nothing. Then equally, when it comes to time for you to reap, you reap nothing. But if you invest a seed in livestock, be rest assured that that seed is going to multiply, and at the time of harvesting, you will reap 10 times what you sowed. And if you sow nothing, don't expect anything.
You know, Dr. Stima, this is mind-opening. I want to say that right here, let's begin from some of the animals we fear. My wife and I have the similar experience, actually. When I was young, I was bitten by a dog. And when she was young, she was bitten by a dog. Our children have grown and they've got their own homes now, except our last born who is at the university in South Africa. But they kept on saying, we must keep dogs. The mother and myself could not go for that idea. We said, when you have your own houses, you keep dogs. But it's amazing, doctor, of how that just in dogs, I know some serious businessmen who breed dogs, and they are selling to the tune of $1,000 one pet. And they sell them. They breed these bulls, pit bulls, German Shepherd, and what. I didn't know it was a business.
Pastor, I will tell you that you are very, very right. Dogs are, as the saying goes, the best friend of man. Yes. But now we have to realize that we've got different breeds. And those breeds have got different purposes. There are some which are pets. There are some which are not supposed to be treated as pets. They are guard dogs and so on. So here is a person who wants to safeguard property. He is going to get, of course, the dogs that are meant for guarding. And those guard dogs will definitely cost more. And somebody who wants just a pet, again, the cost will be different. So in short, when you breed dogs as pure breeds, yes, so those who want guard dogs will go for the breeds which are guard dogs. Those who want dogs as pets and so on, friendly dogs and so on, they will go for that. But I will accept that there are few people in Zambia who are breeding dogs, and it is a business. Breeding them as a business.
Most of the dogs, the small dogs that we find, Dr. Stima, these dogs which are sold along Makishi at traffic lights, you'll find somebody lifting those dogs. Those are worthless because they have no profit. They are just, you know.
Yes. As I said that if you invest nothing, you reap nothing. So those are dogs, they will sell to people who are desperate, and they will be told, this is a German Shepherd. Somebody has heard about a German Shepherd, and maybe he had a German Shepherd, and then he's told it's a German Shepherd, I'm selling it for 200 kwacha. Now he connects German Shepherd to 200 kwacha. The 200 kwacha, it's cheaper. Let me just go for this German Shepherd. He gets it home. 2 weeks later, it's a German Shepherd with yellow patches all over. It's not a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
So a German Shepherd has got, go to proper breeders whom you can even trace to say, look, this is the dog that you sold me. You told me it was a German Shepherd. And look, what type of German Shepherd is this? This is a Great Dane. But what is coming out is not a Great Dane. This is a retriever. But look at it. It's not a retriever. So if you want a proper breed, go to proper breeders of dogs. But now we have just gone into the habit of look at the pods, look at this, no, it's all right, I'll get this dog. So it goes, the same thing goes even to edible animals, cattle. It's the same thing. You go for a bull, you just say, you go to the abattoir, or you're selling the bull, no, let me get this bull and so on. There are so many things that go into getting a bull.
You're going to get into that. Why? I want us to start from the dogs, Dr. Sitima, is that, you see, Zambians, our mindset must change. Our mindset must change. This keeping of dogs, it's something that if you have, I come to you, I go to those who breed the dogs, I ask them, how much is this pit bull? How much is this German Shepherd? It's up to me to come to you and say if I have 3 females and 1 male, how many dogs can I be getting per year? I say that you've got to also get into research for food, because I'm told that those things have special food You can't just feed it anywhere. Like, sorry to say this, in Lundaze, I found a man giving okra to his dog, Shima with okra. That's sorry about that. I know those could be your ancestors. Now, this is not a situation. No. Would you encourage the Zambians to get into that? Because in terms of dogs and security, you can't go wrong.
You know, what I would say is that we have also got a tendency of exploiting each other. We've got that, which the late President Kaunda used to say, the animal in the human. The
Animal man.
Yes, in man. He used to like that phrase. And that is very true. So here's Dr. Stima, who is breeding dogs. When you calculate everything that you spend, surely would you justify selling a dog at a tune of $1,000?
Some are going for $3,000.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is now almost 20-something thousand kwacha. What expenses you add? The food, the cost of food, the shelter, the vaccines, and your profit. You calculate it that pet or that puppy that you are selling is coming to 20,000 kwacha. So there is that greed and that pride that we have to say that it's a pit bull. So pit bull also goes with prestige. You know, the pit bulls are only kept by
a certain class.
Yes, certain class of society. So that's your target. The people in Kablonga, the people in Woodlands. So you look at their income and then you say, this will be IBEX, this is what I'm going to charge. Can you see? You are not really calculating the price based on your cost and up to 35% of your, as profit. You are calculating the cost of the dog, looking at the class of people that will be getting or that you are targeting as your clientele. Yes, so that's what you are selling. You are selling, just like we go with these to say that a same scratch on a Benz to go and make it right. The same scratch, put it on a Toyota, yes, on a Vitz. On a Vitz, it will cost 500 kwacha.
The same paint.
The same paint, everything. But now, the same thing be done on a Jeep, on a Benz, it will cost you 20,000 kwacha. So it's the same principle that we have. We look at who our clients are and charge according to our clients, which I feel is definitely wrong. We are supposed to calculate the same way that we say that we have to sell a bag of maize at an economic price. How are you coming to that economic price? You are saying that I spent so much and so much, so this should be my profit. So the same thing. Here is a puppy. They were born 5, 8 of them. This is what it cost me to raise them, and the vaccinations and so on, veterinary services. This is the cost. Add your 35% profit. This is what it will cost me to get the what? To sell. But no, we look at who are my clients.
And basically, the dogs, they produce more than 4 or 5.
If it is well matured and prepared for breeding period, and it is saved as the required numbers may be determined. Yes, you usually have more than 3, 4, 8 puppies. Yeah. So the cost of keeping those puppies, divide by the number of the puppies, put your markup. That's what it would cost. But
and if you have, say, 3 German Shepherds, they are giving you 5 each. That is 15. And within 6 months, I'm sure, the dog should be sold off, isn't it? Because they grow very fast.
no, 6 months is even more. I mean, you should be thinking of selling the puppy. Mind you, where it's going, that person wants to train it. Yes. So by 2 months, it will have been weaned, and most of the vaccines will have been given to the dog. So by the time it's reaching 3 months, you should be talking of having sold it and going to the person who is going to own the dog, so that he starts training the dog. So you don't give a dog at 6 months, 7 months. That's when you are giving it. It will be a bit hard for you to start training the dog. I'm not saying that it's not trainable, but it is easier for you to start training a dog while it's still a puppy. So, by the time it's 3 months, you should sell the puppy.
The point is, Dr. Stima, meaning if I have 3 and they give me 5 each,
Yeah.
According to what you are saying, the greedy man, I will have $15,000. Now $15,000 surely. Can you justify the feeding of those?
That's exactly the point, Pastor, to say that the unwed man is the one that starts dictating the prices. The humanity in you is taken aside, because if you are to be really fair to yourself, you are not justifying the cost of selling a pit bull at $1,000. You cannot. I can't find any justification of selling a dog to that tune. I cannot. But I will accept and agree and encourage to say that dog breeding is a business.
There is one business, Dr. Stima, that I know. We were chatting, and he said to me that all his puppies, he imports them from Germany. Of course, he breeds them, but he buys them at $2,500. Now, he's got, like you are saying, he's got special clients that will buy, the animal at that price. Whether it's $500, you buy it and sell it for $2,500, it's still expensive. But I just brought in the issue of dogs, Dr. Stima, because most of us Zambians don't know where there is money, don't know where we can start. Because if I'm working, I'm a civil servant, and I buy 2 dogs or 3, 1 male, 2 female, that should be able, if I have passion to keep dogs, that should be able to set me on the road to success.
Yes, but I have to be very clear on this one to say that dog breeding is different from keeping a dog for the purpose of guarding or as a pet. By Zambian law, one household is only allowed to keep 2 dogs.
One household?
One household. So for you, Pastor, at your house, the maximum number of dogs that you are supposed to have is 2. But you are allowed, upon registering, that you want to be a dog breeder, then you have to build the kennels where you'll be breeding. Because, mind you, dogs, I don't remember, I mean, I don't know whether you remember that faithful, unfortunate incident that happened. I think it's somewhere somewhere in a Counter Square, or what is that, Meanwood, where the dogs attacked. Yes,
they went
yes,
through the fence and
then
they killed somebody.
Yes,
I remember that.
Yes, yes.
That
Now,
was during the times of the late not Mr. Zimba, Mr. Zimba, GRZ.
okay.
And yeah.
Yeah. Now, the point that I'm trying to lead is that dogs behave as a pack. So, in a pack, even the non-aggressive members, because of the aggressive members, they will join in the activity which the aggressive members of the pack are doing. So if they are going to attack somebody, one aggressive is going to attack somebody, the whole pack will move in. So that is the reason why, by law, you are only allowed to keep a maximum of 2 dogs per household. But on a farm, it's for security reasons and so on, you are allowed to keep more than 2 dogs. Again, if you are going to go for breeding of dogs, then you get permission, you build your kennels, then you breed your dogs in the kennels. Then you can have more than 4, 5, whatever number, as long as they are properly kept in the kennels. Yes.
Moving away from the dogs, doctor, there is the issue of goats. This is another profitable venture where not the goats that are found in Nyimba and Kacholora, maybe Mukushi. I've come to know there are different types of goats. What would you say about the goats as a professional?
Goats have got very minimum requirements in terms of the attention that you have to give them. And they browse and equally use the trees for their, they browse trees, they graze, so the diseases are fewer. Now, one of the problems that we have, again, in terms of our goat rearing in Zambia is that we've just not gotten the right breeds to breed. As long as it's a goat, we let it breed and so on. So, and equally inbreeding is so much, so that we've gotten this tendency of thinking about goats being stunted like that. When you look at the bone flesh ratio, very poor. But it's not that it's goat rearing which is wrong. It's we are doing it the wrong way. That was the reason why, if you remember, somewhere in about 3-4 years back, the government had gone into setting up breeding centers for even goats. As you are going to the Sweetland in Eastern Province, just after Rufunsa there, on the left side, there is a goat breeding center there.
It's still there?
It's still there, yes. Only that I think the government hasn't equipped it to what they want it to be. But in short, the principal thing is that there was and there is a recognition to say that we are doing, or we are rearing goats in the wrong way. starting from the breeds. So can we bring in the breeds which have got a good ratio of meat-bone ratio, and also which grow faster? And also, can we teach the people to discourage inbreeding? So the recognition of goats as a good business venture in the livestock farming category, it has been recognized. So Rome was not built in one day, but every journey of 1,000,000 miles starts with the first step. So I think the first step of putting up the infrastructure for the purpose of goat rearing has started, and it has been encouraged. The next thing that I think I would have loved the government to go ahead with is the importation of proper breeds. I have been not for the idea of the way we were doing. I have to include myself, but there is what you call collective responsibility. Once you agree to say that this is the way we are going to do, you don't come out and start saying that, no, I wasn't part of that, and so on. Yes. But even when I was working, I was not, and up to now, I have to stress, even to our permanent secretary, Dr. Mwenya. No, Dr. Shamlenge retired. Now there is Dr. Mwenya. And I know he's somebody who gets advice. Even the director of livestock development, Dr. Kaoma, that personally, when we start talking about restocking, going to Gwembe, we get goats and take them to Chadiza, and then we say that we are restocking Chadiza. We are not improving the genetic material of the country. The Gwembe goats, we know they are dwarf goats. So in short, we are spreading the dwarf goats in the whole country. What I think should be done is, can we see where we've got, or what type of genetics do we want in the goat industry? That is what we have to look and go for. Where is the source? Now, if we compare the Boer goats, those goats grow faster and have got a better flesh and bone ratio. So those are the goats that I feel, when we start talking about restocking, can we go a mile and get those goats into Zambia and start distributing? So those are the goats that I feel should go to the breeding centers. We breed those goats now locally and start distributing them to the potential farmers. Those potential farmers again redistribute in their localities. That is how even the whole breed of Namwala improved. It all started with very few elite people who wanted to change the breed, brought in Brahmins into Mala. When they brought the Brahmins, they started sharing the booze with the other locals. And the whole Mala, the whole Bambwe, the whole Banamwaze, the whole Babiji, and so on, going all the way to Itestezi, Lubwe, Basanga, all that, the breed just changed. Why? It was the multiplicative effect of bringing in the right breed, and the locals themselves multiply it and distribute it.
So, Doctor, help me to understand, I'm a little bit behind. If I bring in the South African, what?
Boer goats.
Boer goats.
Yes, or even Kalahari red.
Okay, if
Yes.
I've got these same local
Yes.
ones, let's go by your definition, Gwembe goats.
Yeah.
If I take the Gwembe goats, mix them with the South African Boer goats, can I change the...
You know, what is going to happen is that you, in that case, you've got 50% blood from your local goats and 50% blood from when you cross them. Mm-hmm. So when you start crossing now the offsprings of the first generation, you are now moving away from the smaller breeds. Mm-hmm. So the probabilities of you getting closer to the pure breed is higher. So that small goat starts getting genetics from the bigger one and starts moving closer to the let me say the appearances, what is called the phenotype, the appearance starts getting closer to the Boer goat. So the harvest is going to change. What you are going to be harvesting from that goat is now going to change. So it's not a matter of us saying that we are importing and we are distributing pure goats. I mean, pure Boer goats. No, it's a matter of changing the breed slowly from the indigenous ones, which are low productivity, use the billy goats to change. So there will slowly be a change. It is a gradual change that you advocate.
Help me to understand, Doctor. As I said that I'm very passionate about these things, like I tell the nation that my wife and I are surrounded by you people who have got the knowledge now. My knowledge is not just at that level. Because I want to succeed, I was born for greatness. How many or how much does it cost for a Boer goat or Kalahari goat to bring it into Zambia or buying it into Zambia? How much does it cost?
Right now, the importation and transportation into Zambia is costing somewhere like $175. But those are
for one.
For one, yes.
$175.
$5, yes. But that is transporting, and yes, if you get them from proper and in bulk, that would be roughly the cost.
Okay.
And I mean, we are working in dollars because that's what we have always been quoted when we are asking for prices from there. But mind you, these are goats that prices may change depending on demand right in South Africa and desperation of the seller. Yes, but on the average, you will be looking at those prices.
So now, Doctor, if our Camnet TV viewer there wants to get into this goat rearing, farming, if by the special grace of God, I like making myself clear to the people there, if I want to import 100 landed Zambia, you are saying it's 175 per goat, okay? 175 times 100 goats, it gives me 17,500 times our rate today, which is just at 20 kwacha. This is $350,000. 350,000 kwacha landed.
Yes.
For 100 Boer goats.
Yeah.
And in this 100, how many female should I get, and how many male should I put?
Okay, yeah. First, I wanted to just make a quick clarification. $175, yes, they are costs that may just vary for one reason or the other. That those may be tied to veterinary requirements because trade between countries are internationally determined. Because in terms of livestock, you may find that there is an outbreak of a disease in a certain area. So they will want, or Zambia will have to set the condition, the import condition. So they may tell you that, look, before the animals come, they are supposed to be kept in isolation for maybe 28 days. All right? So by you keeping the animals for an extra 28 days, it increases the cost.
That's right.
All right? Again, they may say that there is just an outbreak. So we want to be sure that those animals, after isolation, they don't have that disease. So we are going to impose a certain disease, a certain diagnostic procedure to screen. So you find that slight. So there may just be, I just wanted to be clear there, that there may just be those slight. If you're lucky, you are importing from what we call disease-free zones, then you may find that actually they don't need that because maybe even WHO, not WHO, the World Animal Health Organization actually recognize that as a disease-free zone. So you don't do all those disease screening. So fortunately, you may find that the price goes lower. But now about the ratios of the animals, you will go for one male goat. It can easily service between 15 to 25 females. It's a good ratio. It will
15 to 25.
Yes. So if you want to be very sure that it will save and so on, 15 females will be 15. A ratio of 1 to 15 females will be good enough. But it's not. It doesn't mean that if you go to 25, the billy goat is not going to work. It will still work. So
and how many should I expect, say, per year from one?
You can expect twice. It will give, because it can give you kids twice. But there are other breeds which are prone to twinning, like the Kalahari Red. Kalahari Red will usually, it is prone to giving you two kids per dropping. So by the end of 1 year, if you're lucky, you will get 4 kids from one female. Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing. And you are saying the market is there. If I go into goat farming with passion, can't I get stuck? If I say, okay, let me start with 10, and they give me, by God's grace, they give me 2, which is 40, the Kalahari Red. Can't I get stuck? Is there a market for?
You know, I'll tell you that the problem that is there that makes a lot of people not go for goat meat, it's because the goats that we usually see being sold, they are not meaty. Yes, but if you go to that place, Chivolia, go and see how many goats will come in a day. Go there in the morning and count how many goats will come in. The same day, in the evening, go and count how many goats are remaining.
But those are local breed.
Yes. All I'm saying is that if the local, or if that type of goats are moving like that, and here is Pastor Chilova, who comes with meaty, juicy goats. If those, you go in the morning, you find all those pens filled up. Go in the evening,
Empty.
you'll find that they are gone. So what more? You going there with goats that you sowed seeds in them. Now, that's one aspect. The other aspect that we have to look at, we are so closed to thinking that the market, I have to sell my products in Zambia. Katanga province of Congo alone, Katanga province, it's the population of Zambia.
Really?
The Katanga province, if my information, my reading gives me right information, the Katanga province is almost the same population as the whole population of Zambia. Go to Kasumbalesa and see how many goats go there and the quality of goats. So if you are saying that you want to go into goats, into goat rearing as a business in the proper way, I'll tell you that there's another Zambia in Congo which will absorb everything. That so you will rear your what for export purposes.
And generate foreign exchange.
That is a thing that I'll say that you don't even need to doubt it. Because if you are saying you want to go in goat rearing the proper way, do it the proper way, you are not going to be looking for market. The market will be looking for you.
You see, Dr. Sitima, I'm so grateful that you came. My wife and I, when we are teaching our children, I have a phrase that I use, especially when they are young. Even now, I always say that the mind is like a parachute. It works better when it's open. If you keep the parachute closed, you can crash. But when you open it, and Zambia's mindset, Dr. Sitima, it's closed. We're talking about goats here. I know of one person that is into that. We play golf together, and another person, and also one of the people who is into that serious business is Mulenga Sata. And he keeps these South African. But you look at the people who rear those goats, they play golf 3 times a week, and they just live off goats. And one day I said, is it profitable? He says, Pastor Chuba, why should I be here playing golf if it's not profitable? That was the answer. Now, this is a foreigner. You see, this is a foreigner. But Zambians are not into it. Whether it's lack of information or not, I don't know.
I think in the first place, I'll give you a background of these broiler chickens that we have. We have a common tendency of calling them nkuku zaloni. Yes. I don't know whether, Pastor, you know how this terminology came about, nkuku zaloni.
Educate me.
Yeah.
I grew up in John Howard. There was a place called Hybrid, you know, Chawama?
Yes.
When we were boys, we would say Zambomola. Zambomola, yeah.
Yes. Now, nkuku zaloni, what happened is that when, in those days, the government was promoting broiler rearing, it was giving out loans to would-be farmers of the broilers. So people started asking, when they see somebody selling the chickens or so on, they would ask, are you keeping mulugulita nkuku zaloni? Meaning, did you get a loan? Is it that type of chicken that is being grown by the grace of the loan that you were given. Oh yes, ninkuku za loan, ninkuku za loan. So up to now, we still call them. So where I'm leading to is that at that point, the government took a deliberate policy, a positive policy to promote to promote broiler growing. So even now, if the government is serious about goat rearing, let it take deliberate measures in the same way that it took at that time to promote broiler growing. So in this case, we do not have deliberate policies that favor goat growing, apart from, the breeding center, goat breeding centers. In my opinion, what was supposed to be done, or what we have to do, I shouldn't exclude myself, what we are supposed to do is sit with the Department of Livestock Development and identify which goats or breeds we can. So if we do that, that's a deliberate policy. And what other deliberate policies would there be to encourage now people to start getting those as a business? Once we do that, the goat rearing industry is going to go up. But as it is, there is nothing very much that I would say that it is, or they are deliberate policies towards goat rearing. Yeah. So we need to have deliberate policies.
You know, doctors, you were talking here because I trust that government, being our parent, when they bring in these things, we should be able to generate money. And this is where I come now. When you are talking about government empowering people, you know, for 10,000 goats, those Kalahari or South African, what?
Boer goats.
Boer goats. If the government imported 10,000 of this, it is just $1.7 million, which is a drop in the ocean. So if that is given, Dr. Sitima gets 100, I get 100, we get 100, distribute them. I'm sure we can contribute to the GDP of the nation. And this is where now agriculture becomes very profitable.
If you remember, some years ago, there used to be what were called farm institutes. Yes. And now, the farm institutes have actually almost disappeared. Those, to me, I feel, were the right places where we were supposed to be using them as breeding centers and demonstration centers. Let's have these institutions regenerated again and used in the proper way. I definitely think with proper programs and so on, I feel they can still contribute a lot. Not only as demonstrating places, but as breeding centers, or let me say, now, let me in fact say, as seed multiplication centers. We bring those goats. In my thinking, it's that the first thing that we have to do is to have a continuous source locally, a continuous source of those type of goats locally. And we distribute now these goats to
to the Zambians.
Yes, locally. Then I think we would be going the right way.
Doctor, this is a vast subject. I still want you to run through some of the things that we feel the people there, the CAMNET viewers, can get involved. We've talked about dogs, and sorry I didn't prepare you that I want to ask you this. You're an expert. You have to help us. We've talked about dogs. We've talked about goats. Briefly, let's go to chickens before we go to livestock.
Cattle.
I mean to
Okay.
cattle and then game.
Okay.
Because you must briefly say something there.
I will.
The chicken business.
Yeah. Now, yes, you have just gone into chicken, but I would rather say let's look at them as birds.
Birds.
Yes,
Okay.
as birds. In the poultry industry, let us look at poultry industry. There are some high value birds, okay, which are not easily found anyway, but they are very high value. I'll give you one high value bird right now is a peacock. One peacock right now is fetching 7,500 kwacha.
Really?
And yes, 7,500 kwacha. And they're in short supply.
Really?
Okay? So meaning that, Pastor Chiloa, if you only released to the market 10 peacocks today, you would be talking about 75,000. Cash. All right?
And those, I can buy them?
Yes.
And they are not difficult to maintain?
No, they're not. They're not really difficult. Just like any other livestock, they've got their own don'ts and do's. Yes. So all I'm saying is that let us be mindful that in the poultry or bird industry, yes, we've only gone into this, but people can equally specialize in a high value poultry, high value birds. But now, that apart, I just wanted to open up. Yes. Now, the usual ones which we go, poultry is the fastest spinning.
Money spinning.
Yes, money spinning project. I was just joking with my elder brother today. His name is Dr. Faustin Banda. We've got a family group, a WhatsApp group. So he posts, he says, I'm putting up my first stone, laying my first stone. He's a surveyor, he's an engineer, he's a lecturer at the University of Zambia. And he's also CEO of a remote sensing center. So he's an engineer, and he writes to me, the vet, young brother, and my other young brothers. He says, look, I'm setting my stone now for the poultry, and it will be keeping, I want to rear 2,000 birds. So I said, wow. So my young brother asks, my young brother is in Australia, he says, oh, you will be keeping 2,000 birds. But how do you intend keeping them? He says, I want to stagger them 8 weeks apart. And I laughed at him. I said, oh, you want to stagger them 8 weeks apart. But do you know that the lifespan of a broiler is 6 weeks? He says, what? I didn't know. I said, yes. You've got a vet in the family, and you start doing a project on livestock without consulting me. So I said, yeah, first bill, 2,000 kwacha. Because you've got now to adjust. He says, no, okay, I get you. So it means that, I said, yeah, stagger them 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. That's good enough. Now, apart from that, what I was trying to say is that within 6 weeks, you start reaping your money. That's the fastest livestock. Name any livestock which you will be able to start getting your harvest in 2 weeks. I mean, in less than 2 months. None. That's, of course, we are talking from the time that you bring in a bed, a day-old bed. Okay? You should aim that within 6 weeks, you are selling it. All right? So, it's a fast and market. Right now, there is a shortage of chicken.
I'm told so.
There is. I'm in that industry. I am keeping chickens myself. I am keeping broilers. There is a big shortage. I think even Mr. Charles Botta, the general manager of ShopRite.
ShopRite, yeah.
Yes. He should be able to tell you that, to say that there is no company which they tell to supply and they are meeting the target or the demand from ShopRite.
Really?
Last time that I had a discussion with Mr. Botta, that's some years ago, a certain company was only meeting 54%, and that was the highest. Meeting 54% of the demand of ShopRite. 54%. That was the highest. Where were they getting the other 46? It was a shortage of 46 from one company. And all the rest, if I remember well, Mr. Botta would correct me, but if I remember well, the others were as low as 30-something% supply to ShopRite. Right now, I've got about 500 chickens, and somebody calls me. She says, look, I'm told you are keeping beds, you are keeping broilers. I said, yes, so what? This is the first time I'm talking to you. I don't know you. Yes, I got your number from my sister and so on. He tells me you keep beds and so on. How many do you have? I've got 500. So what? He says, please, how old? I told him, they are 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Please, I'm getting everything. I'm getting everything.
Really?
So, even at the day, at 4 weeks, everything is already sold. All the 500 beds are already sold. That's how many beds we need per day in Zambia. In short, the demand is not just being
I'm going to ask Dr. Sitima, during the October conference, the conference we are hosting as Cabinet TV, please bring us the facts. When I say the facts, what you are dealing with here are facts. Come and tell the Cabinet viewers who are coming in October, how can I start? You've done your research, you are into that. Here is Pastor Chiluba, who has just 1 hectare of land. How many chickens can I keep? How many peacocks can I keep? What do I start with? If you can come, excuse me, if you can come up with that small budget for any person, you know, the problem that we have, Dr. Sitima, is that we all want to start millionaires. Nobody wants to start from the scratch. You've taught me about peacocks. If I get 5 and start breeding them, maybe 5 years from now, I'll be one of the biggest suppliers in Zambia. I'm just saying.
Yes, yes.
So we don't like starting small. So can you have, in building, they call it a bill of quantity. If you are building this, can you bring that and say those who want to go into peacock, those who want to go into Kalahari goats, can you bring us that information?
I will work in conjunction with the Department of Livestock Services, so that there is no discrepancy between the information that I will give with what the government approves. So it is definitely possible for me to work on that.
Cows will skip in the interest of time, because I know that you'll come and talk about that during the conference. Let's go to wild game.
Yes. Yeah, I think that that is an area that I will say that I really get hurt when I go in these farms or game ranches and see the opportunities that we miss as Zambians, and how, I'm sorry to say, but how unsupportive the government is to indigenous Zambians who want to go into game ranching. The requirements are very hectic, but the benefits, when you start reaping, they are, you know, you won't just imagine how much. I will just go into, first of all, how you start game ranching and so on. You will go to Department of National Parks. They will give you the guidelines of you having a farm or an area which should be fenced, and then it should have trees, proper vegetation, and drinking points. Thereafter, you've got to start acquiring your animals. They will even tell you which type of animals depending on the vegetation, because you cannot get a lechwe into an area where there is no water and so on. So they will tell you, no, this animal cannot be kept here. Again, you cannot get an animal which is mostly on a dry land and so on into a swampy area. They will tell you, no, this area. So in short, they will give you the guidance of which animals. That is the reason why they will give you the word, and also help you in the stocking densities of the animals and so on. But now, is it a profitable? That is the most important thing that we want to know. Is it something that is profitable or it's not profitable? You will be surprised that just a sable antelope. Sable antelope, at a certain time in Zambia, it was actually almost going for $3,000. That is a sable antelope. Talk about buffalo. The buffalo, when it goes into a game ranch which allows hunting, these are big game ranches. You realize that, you find out that one buffalo will cost as much as $15,000 just for somebody from UK, from States, or from the tourists to come and hunt it. $15,000. So mostly the game ranches are for trophy and also game viewing. Yeah. So you have continuous revenue from people who come to view them, but equally, when you harvest, you find that the cost of the meat is actually quite dear.
Very expensive.
Yeah. But it is something that I will say it's the capital investment is on the dear side, but the harvests are equally very encouraging.
Doctor, help me, because all these things you are talking about, don't be surprised if I get into it. I will bring you to another aspect. How much area, how much land do I need to keep like the sable, to keep like the buffaloes, to keep, how in terms of hectareage, because Zambians need to know this.
Okay.
I play golf, and at Chilanga Golf Club, there are these impalas.
Impalas, yes.
And the Zawa, they come to harvest them, crop
yes.
them. But you don't just need impalas. I like them for meat, you know, for beef. But how much land do I need if I have to say, okay, let me keep buffaloes, let me keep sable, kudu? How much land would you suggest that I start with?
You know, what I would advise is that one, get as big chunk of land as much as you can get. So let me say you get 1,000 hectares. Yes. It doesn't mean that you should start with the whole 1,000 hectares. You can start with 50 hectares because the cost of fencing is what kills a lot of these projects, because the cost is very high to fence it. So within just that 100 hectares, the people who will be able to tell you, to say that you can keep these animals and so on, it will be the Department of National Parks. But I'll say that out of experience, as small as 5-acre plots, they keep wild animals. It depends on what your intention is. So if your intention is to keep them for ornamental purposes, even less than an acre, people will keep 3-4 impalas and so on, and they get so tamed. There is a Mr. Kapata you go to Ndeke, just close here. There are people who've got this just on their yards, and they get so tamed. They get so tamed and so on. Just like when you go to Pazuri, I know maybe you may have heard Pazuri. That piece of land is small. I think
even State House.
Yes.
There are animals there.
Yes. Can you see? So, but when you go there, for him, it's actually tourism, that photography tourism and just viewing and so on. That's what. So you will not go to Pazuri to go and shoot. No, but you go to somebody like this Peter Fisher in right in
Keleng.
Yes, I've been to that. Yes,
the one who is standing as an MP. Yeah.
Yes, I've been to that farm. He's got a vast piece of land. So for him, it is not actually only photography. It is actually hunting. So the area is more of it resembles the national park. But in the national park, you know, you are restricted by all these laws of which govern the national parks. But there, so you for instance, you cannot shoot in the national park. All right, you don't shoot anything in a national park. It has to go in the game management area outside the national park. That's where you shoot. You don't shoot animals in the national parks. All right. So for him in Ikelengi, it is that hunting is the main drive of his game ranch. So he will buy buffaloes, let them in the ranch, so he knows there are buffaloes here. That's one thing. So tourists will come, they will go, and he knows there is a trophy buffalo here. You've got to shoot it within 3 days, and you pay 15,000 kwacha. And not 15,000 kwacha, $15,000. So he goes in. One fact is that there is a buffalo, and it's trophy. You can shoot it once you see it.
Doctor, as I said, time is running out, but I want you to prepare those, because I know for sure I have a friend or two friends who flew from South Africa into Zambia, what they told me, it's amazing. Even to get these celebrities like Roger Federer to come and shoot a buffalo, just a buffalo, depending on who you are bringing, it can go as high as $50,000
yes.
per buffalo.
Yeah.
And depending on who you are bringing.
Yes.
And this is where our Zambian people, this is where we are not anywhere near. I attended conferences at Mulungushi and also at this place near Chilanga. I just discovered that most of the people who are doing well are foreigners and whites. No Zambian person is there as a recognized hunter. You know, these are pilots who come, they are hired. I was almost in tears. I couldn't believe this area.
Not only that, you may say that, but I also feel that ourselves, the Zambians, we are not supportive to each other.
We are not.
We are not. More especially, even in this very industry, the wildlife industry, we don't support each other.
Really?
And even the government itself does not support the local industry. I mean, the indigenous Zambians. I definitely think that, one, the attitude of supporting fellow Zambians. I will tell you one funny thing. There was a Zambian who requested for animals from another a Zambian who is a non-indigenous Zambian, all right? And he said, oh no, I don't have those animals. But then that non-indigenous Zambian shot the animals and then now tells that Zambian, indigenous Zambian, to say, can you come and collect? I've shot some animals. The reason why he didn't want to give it live to the indigenous Zambian is that it was going for breeding. So he didn't want the Zambian to have an animal that could breed. That's how cruel we can be to our own Zambian brothers. He first kills the animal and tells him now to come and get a carcass. I've killed the animal, so if you still need it. And the indigenous Zambian says, no, it's fine. I don't.
In 10 minutes, dear Cabinet viewers, you can see that I am rushing through the doctor. We have information out here. This man is a library of the information you need. And Zambia, let me tell you, you were born for greatness. You have heard him say that even 5 acres, you can do something. During the October conference, 1st and 2nd of October, please make your way here. Like we have always said, you'll be so blessed to attend this conference. In 10 minutes, I forgot one animal, the pigs. How profitable are they? Just in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes.
Can I start keeping pigs? Can I?
We spoke about poultry as the fastest spinning
money spinning project
in livestock. The next from poultry, it's actually piggery.
From chicken?
From chickens, it's piggery.
Really?
Yes. So you start, if you invest in piggery, the first ones, day one, you've got piggery, you've got pigs, you've got chickens, you've got cattle, you've got wild animals. The first animal that you will start getting your investments, it's the broiler.
The broiler.
From the broiler, it is the
pigs.
Just before that, within poultry, it will be the layers. All right. Now, let us just say poultry is the first one. The second one, it's piggery. Then you go to cattle ranching, and then you go to wildlife ranching. So, piggery, the goodness about piggery is that the breeding stock will, you can even have a piggery with 3, 4, 5 sows. And from a sow, you expect not less than 9, 10 piglets.
No.
So if you've got 5, if you've got 5, so it means you get 10, 10, 10, 10.
50.
You've got 50.
Per year.
Not per year. That's per year. It should give you not less than 2 times. It's calculated to be it should be 2.56 times, you know, but 0.5 it may just be complicated.
So if I have 5, I'll
Yes.
get 50
Yes.
before the end of the year,
You'll
another
get
50,
yes.
which is 100.
Yes, yes. And you'll be disposing per year. You will have disposed 100 from the 5.
Let's close this. I have to go and discuss with my wife. Right? We have to stop this program because my goodness. So why are we not? And you know, I like bacon.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. But sometimes it is too expensive.
Yeah.
In the shop, you find somebody has just cut those to my breakfast thing.
Yeah.
You are buying it at so expensive, and you think of the whole pig.
Yeah.
How much can come from there? Hey,
So-
doctor, you have blessed my heart. Go ahead.
So I mean, the only thing that we always think about pigs is that they are dirty animals.
Actually, yeah.
But I will tell you that they are not dirty animals. It's because we do not provide the clean things for the pigs. So it's because it needs to cool itself, to cool the body temperature. So it will look for water, and you don't have clean water, so it will go into dirty water, and then we have that notion to say that it's a dirty animal. But if you get pigs into proper pens, you realize that it has got an area where it's going to use to drop its fecal material and urinate. It goes and drinks, it goes to sleep somewhere else.
Really?
That's the behavior of a what? A pig. You will not find a pig where you have provided clean environment to say that the pig is going to mess around, go into its fecal droppings, and then go, or even go into where it eats and drops its fecal droppings there. The pig doesn't do that.
Wow.
But now we confine it in a dirty space where dirty water is going through. You haven't provided shade, and you expect a pig which is very bad in terms of regulating body temperature. So what do you expect the pig to do? It will roll itself in the what? In the mud. And then we have that notion now to say it's a dirty pig. I mean, it's a dirty animal.
Tell me something, doctor. In terms of feeding the animal, is it so expensive?
I will run through generally. Poultry, it is estimated that 80% of your cost is feed. So if you do play around your cost of feed, you reduce it by 10%, 20%, you are increasing your profit margins very much.
And you can teach us that.
In fact, they are, you know, for me, I don't want to say that I'm a jack of all trade. All right? I can take you to people who are specialized in feed formulation. I will tell you that one is an expert. Go to her or go to him. I recommend him. All right? But I have the knowledge, but I wouldn't want to from disease control, livestock, animal husbandry, and no. there are people who are better than me, whom I can say. For instance, I mean, Dr. Kawama, he's the director of livestock development. Those would be the right people to there is also Dr. Hachilal in Village Farm, somewhere there. She's an expert. She's the owner of Mwanangwa Feeds. He's an expert in feed. So I know where I can direct people to say that you go there, you go there, you go there. Where I also go to say, you know,
Doctor,
here.
I want to leave these few minutes for people to ask questions, but I can only ask you that please prepare us something for October conference, because I've always believed with my wife, somebody has said, and I've heard it, what you said, and this is an American billionaire. This is why people like Bill Gates, they are buying more land. The Chinese are buying more land. And Zambians don't know. I keep on saying to the Zambians, please don't sell land. Don't sell land. I heard in America, one of the billionaires saying the next set of billionaires in these last days will come from farming and technology. Look at Amazon, Jeff Bezos, what is the man is reaping. He lost, on the news, he lost $13 billion.
Oh, yeah.
You heard that.
Yes.
He doesn't even feel it because he's in the hundreds of billions. So $13 billion, it's nothing. He donated $100 million to a journalist in CNN. He says, you have this so that you can do what you want. So when we tell the Zambians through the CAMNET platform that we must create billionaires, I don't know why people are underestimating this, but I'm so glad that you came. Please keep that, the pigs and many more things. Dear CAMNET TV viewers, this man you have here is an encyclopedia of success in the animal kingdom. And when you come for the conference, feel free to ask him. And this year, in October, 1st of October, 2nd October, the speakers that you are meeting, the people that you are going to talk to, I expect, Dr. Sitima, to start seeing billionaires next year. And people, I mean millionaires, then we lead to billions. I know people will testify. In the meantime, I'll ask my director to give us the 3 adverts. Why 3 adverts? The first one, I have said, Dr. Kawama, Dr. Sitima, if anybody is selling pigs, selling chickens, including groundnuts, CAMNET TV has provided a market platform. We will be able to advertise on low rates. And the Zambians, most of Zambians, they don't know the power of marketing.
Yeah.
And the Coca-Cola will spend $750 million just on marketing to advertise. Zambians don't know how to, not everyone, most Zambians don't know. They want to start big, then start advertising. So to our CAMNET TV viewers, we have created a platform called the CAMNET Market, where we are advertising. We produce the video, we'll come and do the chicken for you, we'll shoot everything at a cost, small cost, which you afford, and we'll load it on CAMNET TV, and it will go viral, the whole world. That is one. The second one is the company that we are dealing with, buying land, selling land, and also property. Zambians don't know that property investment is something that we need to go to. And of course, our conference in October. So may God bless you. After these 3 adverts, we'll come back to you, and our lines will be open just for a few minutes so that you can ask Dr. Sitima. But like we have done in the past, we've made mistakes. We have opened up the phone numbers to our guests there has come good things and abuse and what. So now we don't do that. If you want to contact Dr. Sitima, you come through Camnet. If we can bring him to you, we can let you access him anytime. May God bless you. We'll see you on the other side.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Africa is rising to a new dawn of integrity and accountability. Are you tired of being swindled or buying fake or illegal properties? Would you like to sell or buy genuine property? Would you like to list your property on both local and international market? Don't waste your time. Call the professionals, the SGK Properties, on +260 762 166 018. SGK Properties. Your business assurance is our priority.
Zambia has embarked on an economic journey for individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United Agrivision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date: 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges: 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time: 0730 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time: 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue: the Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Apex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka.
Our dear Camnet TV viewers, we've got few minutes. I want you to know that you were born for greatness, and Zambia, especially those of you who watch this channel, I'll be so surprised that after 1 year, 2 years of watching this channel, you are still at the same level financially, because you don't have to get 1 million kwacha for you to start small. Doctor, the lines are open. People are now free to ask. Any of these things, you've talked about chickens, you've talked about pigs, you've talked about cows and game ranching. Any of these things, tell me, if I have 5,000 or 10,000, can I start with one of these?
I will say that you can start with one of them, and I will still advise you to say that go for poultry, go for broilers. Broilers, you know, I go to hybrid poultry to go and buy. I see the ladies who come to buy even 50 day-old chicks, 100-day-old chicks.
Those 50 chicks, how much would it cost one?
Right now the day-old chick is costing about it's costing 15 kwacha.
15
kwacha, yes, per chick. And then for 100 beds, usually the good starting point is 100. 100
which is
beds,
about 1,500.
yes,
Kwacha.
yes. So for 100 beds you need 2 bags of, it's 2 bags of starter, 3 bags of grower, and 3 bags of broiler. I mean finisher. You've got your what? You've got your beds.
400.
400 beds, yes.
Now, I know before they call, please, this is for my sake. There is a call? Okay, there is a call already. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, hi.
Permanently blessed. What's your name and where you calling us from?
This is Njomba, I'm calling from Paris.
What's your name?
Njomba.
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 Oh, Njongo.
Yes.
From Choma.
Yes, Choma.
Please go ahead and contribute to the nation, Mr. Njongo.
I'm pressing the program, right? I want to find out and get you say that they are actually buying and checking funds.
Sorry, you say you want to?
I heard you mentioned of you are saying buying land.
Selling and
Or selling land?
Yes, I know how process is.
Do you want to buy land, Mr. Njongo?
Yes.
Okay, that company, the SGK, if you call them, tell them how much land you want. I think they have people that are selling land. My wife and I, Camnet TV, we are just facilitating, but contact that company.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not Camnet selling, it is the SGK. We will put an advert for you before we go so that you can get the details.
all right, thank you.
Thank you so much. I wanted to say, please run it through. How much are those 2 bags? I want to make a quick budget because if I'm buying 100 chickens, then I have 1,500 kwacha.
Yes.
Yeah, 1,500 kwacha. What about the bags? How much is one costing?
yeah.
The starters?
The starter, you know, I would have to go into my files. You know, the problem that is there is the prices have been very dynamic. Yes, but all in all, I will give you rough figures.
Yes.
Yes, rough figures. The starter is somewhere 600 kwacha, slightly around 600 kwacha.
So by 2, it's 1,200.
Yes, and then the grower is somewhere 550, somewhere there.
Which is also,
Yeah.
we say roughly
And then
1,200.
And then
finisher?
the finisher is somewhere, it should be 495,
Which is 800 kwacha.
somewhere there. So
These are just your estimates.
yes, I mean that's where we were buying. Yeah, there were somewhere those.
Yeah.
But recently, I know that certain companies. I don't want to seem to be campaigning
them, yeah.
Yes, but I know that certain companies have just increased their prices, and the names more of the marketing factor, I know just from the village right now, and I was very surprised how this young man is producing. He's from Aaron Kamungu village. His name is Luke, and look at the production of his beds in a hut. He's built using mud, and he's doing very fine. The chickens were doing fine using one of the brands of feed that is disregarded in Lusaka, but that's a feed that he's using in Aaron Kamungu's village. Very, very impressive.
Doctor, this is amazing. If we decampaign those companies that are exploiting the Zambians, I have no apology to make, because I know there are people who have come to rip off the people of Zambia. What you have given me here, 400 beds, chicks, it's 1,500, 1,200 starters, 2 bags, 1,200 whatever, and 800 finisher. This gives me 4,700 kwacha. I'm ready to dispose of those 100 chickens. Mm-hmm. So with 5,000, if I've got everything lined up, of course there are costs in making those houses. But even then, to start off with 100, I don't think I need to spend 10,000 kwacha.
You know, there is one principle that I've always thought is right to say, which says that do what you want to do with the things that you have. Other things that may facilitate or make it easier for you to do what you want to do will come along the way. It's a typical thing about what I'm saying about this gentleman, Luke, in Aaron Kamungu's village. He's doing something. He's keeping around 200 beds, and he's selling them. He told me himself that starting at 4 weeks, the Malawians flock to him to get the beds. At 4 weeks, there are already people wanting to buy them. Yes. He has started doing something with what he has. The roof, it's grass thatched. The poles, it's just the ordinary trees, and the walls, it's the mud that he's put. But look at the product that he's
what about the warmth that the beds need? He has no electricity now?
No, he's using charcoal.
Really?
He uses charcoal, yes. When they are still young in the brooder, he divides and then he uses charcoal. And then
they can't jump on the fire and be bright.
Now look at how people despise the Chinaman and so on. But go to the villages. We don't have the grid, but look at, he's got solar bulbs lighting his what? And how much are the solar bulbs? Or solar small torches and so on? They are less than 300 kwacha or so.
Which Savenda is making.
Yeah, Savenda, and they light the whole night. He's got several of them. These finishes he puts. So he's started doing something with the little that he has, and he's progressing. So when you talk about 5,000 kwacha, out of that 5,000 kwacha, what is it that you have to use it on that you cannot replace with what you have? So you cannot say that you don't have grass, or you cannot thatch, or you cannot roof your roofing because you don't have money. You can replace the roofing sheets with grass. So in the beginning, use what you have. Go and get the grass, thatch. You don't need a cement housed pottery. In the meantime, to start off, use the mud, blocks and so on. Thereafter, you will use all these other materials and so on.
Doctor, let's pick some text messages which have come through, I'm sure. Good evening, Senior Pastor Chiloban Doctor. This information is needed in public domain. God bless Camnet TV, Christian Mwansa from Kasama. You are blessed for life, and may God bless you. Good evening, Pastor Chiloban Doc. I am Moses Mulenga. I would like to ask you that how much can I pay if I want to buy an hippo?
If you want to buy hippo, it depends from, it depends on where you want to acquire the hippo from.
They sell hippos?
Yes, they sell. Now, here we are talking about, I don't talk about hippos for hunting, or let me say, for meat. I talk about hippos for rearing. I'm not a hunter. I am a game capturer. I'm not a professional hunter. I am a professional game capturer. I capture animals. So if you want to buy a hippo, you go to the Department of National Parks. You will be sold a hippo. I'm not a spokesman for national parks, but I'm just saying if they are selling, and I don't know their process as of now. All right? I don't know their process. So instead, you go there, they will tell you the process, and you will actually be sold. Once you are sold, then you can now approach me to capture your hippo and translocate it live.
Wait, doctor. You are confusing me now. I didn't think that question you would answer it, because looking at the hippo, if I am not by the Kafue River banks, can I buy a hippo and bring it at the farm? And if I can, how much water do I need to rear the hippo?
That is what I was saying earlier on. If you remember, Pastor, I said the process of game ranching starts with the Department of National Parks. So the Department of National Parks will advise you, and they do what is called an ecological assessment, meaning that they come to see where you want to rear or to do your game ranching. So they will recommend what animals you can keep. So if you've got a good water body, and you can confine the animals, the hippos and so on, within your farm, and you say that you want to keep hippos, they will give you permission on the list of animals that you can keep on your ranch. So they can indicate the hippo. So now, if your source of hippo is national parks, so they are the custodian of all the wildlife which is not in possession of the members of the public. Yeah. So it means that if you are along Kafue River, or if there are hippos in Kafue River, and you want to buy, you will go to national parks, and you want to keep it, they will look at what you were allowed to keep. So if hippo is one of them, they'll give you. But mind you, national parks is not mandated to capture for you or to translocate the hippo from Kafue River to your game ranch. So that's when you come to people like us who are professional game capturers. So we shall capture your hippo and translocate it to your farm. That's what we do.
Because why I've asked, Doctor, the same friends that came from South Africa, I am told that one hippo from these game hunters, it can even go to $150,000 to shoot it if you have good people from out there.
That is, there is a conference, I've forgotten what it is called. There is a conference in America where you go and advertise yourself. So you can imagine, just for the purpose of argument, Bill Gates coming to hunt. Can you see? So just him coming to hunt and so on, the value of the animal that you are going to give him and so on. So it also depends who is coming to hunt and how you advertise yourself and what other amenities are within your area and so on, or your game ranch. But in short, it's that if you hunt an animal on a game ranch, it's always expensive than hunting it
in the game park.
You don't hunt in a game park.
In the
game management area. Yes, because one, in the game management area, it's that they don't know whether the animals are there or not there. But in a game ranch, it is for sure the animal is there. So the task is on yourself. You square yourself up to the task of finding the animal. But the whole environment is just the same as the national parks. Yes, but the only difference is that you are not allowed to shoot an animal or to hunt in a national park. You only shoot or hunt in the game management
We will need
area.
more details in October during the conference, Doctor, on those hippos, because I know for sure that one of the most expensive animals also to keep is a crocodile. It is so much on demand. I hear people from around the world, those who are friends, asking about the crocodile. I know that you have to benefit the Zambians. Please come with those details during the October conference. Let's pick up the calls if they are there. If not, Mr. Director, give us the text messages. What is causing the shortage of broiler chickens in Zambia? Van Mapalo from Mondola.
Thank you, Bana Mapalo. Again, I am not a spokesman for the hatcheries, but what I will say is my own speculations. I am from the background of working for the government, and within the government, I was again working in the section that was controlling the entry ports and exit ports of the country and roadblocks. So I will specifically say that to the best of my knowledge, there has been an accusation to say that the hatcheries are exporting birds or day-old chicks with the knowledge of the government. To the best of my knowledge, that is just a speculation. All I would say is that the number of birds that are hatching or which are being kept as breeding stock, the parent stock, has reduced. And if you go down to the details, it is actually because of COVID. The exporting countries, the manpower in the exporting countries has reduced. We don't produce the parent stock. We import the parent stock. So we don't have the parent stocks coming into the country. So the number of day-old hatchings have actually reduced. That is to the best of my knowledge. If they have been exports to other countries, I would say that I'm not again defending the government or being a spokesman for the government. Then I would say that one, they are illegal and it's not to the knowledge of the government, and people at the checkpoints and exit ports, they would have detected this. So I am very doubtful whether it is the right position that the hatcheries are actually exporting, but it is the reduction of the parent stock that has affected.
But can we import the parent stock?
We can, but where we are importing, the number of parent stocks that can be exported out of those countries has reduced because of manpower. The working people in those
Because of COVID.
because of COVID, yes.
Oh,
That is the reason that I have gotten even in those countries where they were giving us these that the parent stocks, the export of parent stocks has actually reduced. So we are not receiving the parent stocks. They've gone down. And that is the reason why in the beginning when COVID just started, because we still had the parent stocks, but because the parent stocks are always being taken off, which is called culling, they are being culled, but the replacement is not actually coming. So you cull, you've got nothing to replace with. You cull, you've got nothing to replace with. So we don't have as many. So you cull 100, you replace with 45. You cull another 100, you replace with 45. So the parent stock has continuously dwindled.
oh Jehovah. Dear Camnet TV viewers, I can only take 5 text messages, no phone call, Mr. Director. I know we are into news time. Give us 5, one after another, and we close. There's too much information here. Good evening. This is a nice program, Pastor Chiluba. God bless you. Doc, thank you very much for the knowledge. How is a broiler chicken produced? This is Charity from Kasempa. Kindly highlight some legal requirements in piggery. Enjoying your program. Thanks for the information. This is Lamia Evans from Samfia. Okay. Good evening, Senior Pastor Chiluba and Doctor. This information is needed. We read this one, Mr. Director, from Christian, no message.
Okay.
Thank you. Doctor, you've seen how I've rushed you, but during the conference, you won't be interviewed. You've got the whole 1 hour to present, and the people will be able to ask you questions during the October conference. I am very grateful. Let's see if we can help the people of Zambia, including myself, because it makes a sad reading that people should start killing each other because of politics. People of Zambia, please, we are Zambians. Let's love one another. Let's pray for each other. And even politics should not separate us. Politics should not bring hatred and bitterness. If you don't like President Lungu, pray for him. The Bible says pray for your enemies. If you don't like HH, pray for him. The Bible says pray for your enemies. If you don't like Membe, Dr. Mumba, and all these people, those you regard to be your enemies, please pray for them. If we take that stance, we will be better off. And all of you cadres, and all of you Zambians, you've listened to Doctor. Surely 5,000 kwacha, another 5,000 to do your chicken run, 10,000 which you can borrow for 100 chickens, and you begin from there. Definitely you will pay back. Child of the Most High, listen, you were born for greatness. You were born for greatness. Do not be reduced by anybody, and let nobody look down on you. You will succeed. You will make it in life. Dear parents, those of you who've got children, look at these statistics Doctor has given to us. These statistics, you can empower your children with piggery, with chicken, with whatever you can empower. And don't miss the conference in October, on the 1st of October. Don't miss it. And also, this Saturday, by the grace of God, we will have the conference from 9 o'clock to 17 hours. This conference, you hear different speakers. And by the special grace of God, we'll beam it live on Camnet TV. We'll beam it live on social medias like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get positioned, Zambia. I know your set time of favor has come. keep watching Camnet TV, because Camnet TV is not just another channel. Doctor, I would like to thank you. And please convey our thanks to your wife and your children that you can be with me in the studio at this late hour.
They know and they appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing you in October.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Camnet TV viewers, those, my brother from Choma, you wanted to hear the number of the company selling land and buying land. We'll put it, the 3 adverts will come before we log out. Mr. Director, help the nation with the 3 adverts.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Africa is rising to a new dawn of integrity and accountability. Are you tired of being swindled or buying fake or illegal properties? Would you like to sell or buy genuine property? Would you like to list your property on both local and international market? Don't waste your time. Call the professionals, the SGK Properties, on +260 762 166 018. SGK Properties. Your business assurance is our priority.
Zambia has embarked on an economic journey for individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United AgriVision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date: 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges: 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time: 0730 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time: 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue: the Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Abex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka.